Hi everyone. um, we're gonna do a video. We're gonna do a video about totally tone deaf, being totally tone deaf, and while we're in the middle of a so-called war for Israel. As you guys saw yesterday, the granddaughter of Zion Donnie Trumpenstein Kai released a video where she took a trip to a organic grocery store called Erewhon in Los Angeles, California, where she bought $233 worth of organic groceries. Which is pretty tone deaf and is pretty tone deaf in the middle of a war where in the time where we're in the middle of a war with high gas prices, expensive groceries, and her grandfather who doesn't care about the American people. He only cares about his pocketbook and serving a subservient fake nation state who takes occupied territory in occupied Palestine, which they call Israel, but it is known as Palestine, where the evil Benjamin Netanyahu is using his weapons to bomb Iran. And President Trump wants to send young kids who are middle class and lower to fight in the war and die in the war for the Israel interests. And you see his granddaughter flexing at an organic grocery store in LA, buying as many groceries, over $200 in groceries. It costs more than to feed a family of 4 for 1 week in groceries. See how the rich elites, like Kai Trump, her father, Donald J. Trump Jr., her grandfather, Zion Donnie Trumpenstein, and anybody, Benjamin Netanyahu, his son, any of these politicians who refuse to fight themselves, and they want to draft middle class and lower to fight their war for Israel so they can enrich their own pockets. No. And they want to do the draft, reinstate the draft to send young men and young women to fight overseas so they can line their pockets to the Rothschilds and the elites? No. That is what we're trying to avoid. We voted for Trump in 2024 to not start any, to put him back in office, to not start any new wars. But he has started another war in the Middle East. And he wants us to support it like it's 2003 all over, like it's 2003 all over again? No. No. Everyone campaigned, all the presidents campaigned on peace, except for John McCain, who's the late Satanist John McCain, who wanted to campaign on going to war. But all the candidates that campaigned for peace went into a war. Reagan, H.W. Bush, Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Hussein Obama, and now Zion Donnie Trumpenstein. And they want to send Americans in harm's way to die for illegal wars so they can line their own pockets? No. No. This has happened in both parties. And don't tell me that wouldn't happen under Kamala. But Kamala would have done the same thing. She would have taken us to war as well for Israel. Same new boss, same as the old boss. And all the rich people. Kai Trump, Ella Emhoff, Kamala's stepdaughter, Sasha and Malia Obama. You name any child of a presidential candidate. And they act all tone deaf. While your kids get enlisted to fight in a war. Fight in a war for oil. For oil, for power, to fight the cabal. It's just ridiculous. People need to grow a spine. Because we can't vote our way out of this. We cannot vote our way out of this mess. It's just not going to happen. So, if we say this stops until we gather together and tell the politicians stop sending foreign aid to Israel, to Ukraine, to any foreign country, and focus on what happens here in this country. And also make sure there's arrests for the elites. Deep state arrests. Because we haven't seen any of it. We voted for no new wars, deep state arrests, immigration moratorium, and end of transgender surgeries for minors. end of women's sports. End of men and women's sports. We're not getting any of that. Because people like Kai Trump want to flex their wealth. It's just insanity. There's only a handful of people who are speaking out against this crap. Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Trump is afraid of them. And Trump is primarying Massie in Kentucky with his hand-picked candidate. With Trump's hand-picked candidate. It's just insane. You just know what to know.